Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session on how to make your mind your friend. My name is Schuivens. I'm from the Netherlands, and I am a certified mindfulness and meditation trainer, certified by a World Peace Initiative. I'm also the founder of Samavira, wellness organization, and I'm delighted to have you with me here today. We'll be talking today about how to make your mind your friend. And this is one of my favorite topics because we can really learn and train ourselves to work with our mind instead of against our mind, as we often do naturally. So, what does this mean? Why do we need to train our mind to work with us, right? This is because we are, as human beings, hardwired for negativity. This is what psychologists call the negativity bias. What does it mean? This means that we often remember negative events better than positive ones. It means we often expect negative things to happen. We're often thinking about the worst case scenario. What's the worst that could happen? Oh my God, what if that would happen, right? And this also means that the thoughts that we have, both the ones that we're aware of as well as the ones we're not aware of, are often negative instead of positive. And these negative thoughts, when they start repeating themselves, they can turn into negative spirals, downward spirals, or become repetitive. And then we end up being stuck in a certain cycle, right? You may wonder why this is the case, why we are hardwired for negativity, right? Some of you may know this already, may have heard this already. But this is because it used to serve our forefathers. Back in the day, long time ago, it was actually a positive thing to be hardwired for negativity, because oftentimes it was really a matter of life and death. Seeing the worst that could happen or expecting the worst that could happen, let's say for example being chased by a tiger, could actually help ensure that someone would survive, right? However, nowadays, we don't really need this as much anymore. In fact, we can actually work and train to rewire our mind, rewire our brain, to recondition ourselves, to train ourselves to become biased for positivity instead. And that's what I will be talking about. This session will consist of two main parts. First, a bit of theory about the negativity bias, and then some tools and exercises on how to train your mind to be focused on the positive instead, and how this can really help you excel in life. Second part will consist of a short meditation, so we can both integrate the principles and the techniques that we'll be talking about, as well as really start stilling our mind, focusing our mind, so we can become more and more mindful in our daily life, weekly life, monthly life, and our whole life, of course. So I hope you'll enjoy. All right, I already explained a little bit about the negativity bias. And to show you what I mean by we're able to train our mind and recondition ourselves, I'll read out two of my favorite quotes related to this topic. Number one is by Matthias Alexander, and he says, "People do not decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future." Let this sink in for a minute. Our habits decide our future. It's not, we as humans don't, it's our habits that do. The other quote that I really like in relation to this topic is by Aristotle, the philosopher. Some of you may have heard of him. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. See, habit comes back in. And this is what I'll be talking about today. Before I continue guiding you through some of the exercises, perhaps it's a good idea to take a piece of paper, and a pen to write on the paper, so you can take some notes and perhaps also try and integrate those exercises in your daily life to start training yourself. All right. As I mentioned before, we can train ourselves to rewire, so we can become focused on the positive and learn to really work with our mind to excel in life. We can learn to play with our mind, have fun with our mind, so that we can use it as some sort of collaboration, I could almost say, which can help you to become more productive, have more fun, be in more flow in life, etc. I'll be guiding you through 3 short tools and linked to 3 short exercises that you can then use in your own daily life to practice with, and also perhaps track your progress with and see if you notice any changes regarding the types of thoughts that you have, the number of repetitive thoughts that you have as well, and also to notice if you start seeing more opportunities in life, feeling more excitement, etc. Right? So the first method I'll be guiding you through is called deliberate gratitude. Deliberate gratitude. Some of you may have heard of this before, about gratitude, being grateful, right, etc. So this is a very simple but very powerful technique. It basically entails simply that you would sit down once a day at least. It's a good thing to do this either early in the morning or late in the evening. Sit down, take a piece of paper, a pen, and list, let's say, at least 5 things you feel grateful for. These can be things that happened in the day or in the past week or in general in life. Doesn't really matter. Just 5 things that you authentically feel grateful for. It could be that you don't feel these feelings of grateful, happy, exciting at first. However, if you keep doing this practice, trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I didn't really feel this and believe this before either, but those feelings will start coming up. It may just mean you haven't been connecting to them for a long time, so your system needs to get used to reconnecting to those types of feelings again. So just to repeat, sit down once a day, preferably morning or evening. If you do it in the morning, you actually start your day off on a really positive note. So you can use that energy and use that vibe to get through the day, to go through the day, right? If you do it in the evening, it may mean you sleep very well, which means you can start the next morning fresh. So both have their advantages, right? You sit down and you write down at least 5 things you feel grateful for, you feel happy about, 5 things that you appreciate. Could be things that other people did for you or with you, could be things that you yourself did, could be opportunities that came by in life, it could be the amazing healthy breakfast you had this morning, it could be that amazing phone call you had with that friend whom you hadn't talked to for months, it could be this book you're reading, which is actually giving you amazing insights or really helping you relax before sleep at night. No matter how small, how big, everything is great, everything is fine. It's just a practice of sitting down, writing it down. So number 1, deliberate gratitude. Number 2 is called the reverse gap. Reverse gap. So as I explained before, we're often wired for negativity. And it also means that we often think about all the things we still need to do, all the things we still need to learn, all the things we still need to, we got to, we have to, we need to, etc. What if we reverse this, the reverse gap? What if we start looking backwards instead of forward and start recollecting all those things we became better at this past time, all those things we're doing more greatly than we did before, all these things that we developed in, right? I'll give you an example to clarify what I mean. Let's say I used to be very triggered and very reactive when people would be impatient towards me, for example. And I would give a reaction instead of a response. So I would basically aggravate the situation by saying something that I did not authentically want to say in the moment, right? So let's say I look back, how did I used to deal with such situations, let's say 2 months ago? Wow, I improved a lot in this area. I'm much more responsive, giving a response instead of a reaction. I'm much more patient myself, because that's apparently the lesson that was there to learn for me, right? Much more, and then you see the progress you made, which makes you feel very good, again, grateful oftentimes, also proud of yourself in that moment. This is again a really good practice to start doing perhaps once a day or once a week. You can start with it first and then start integrating in your life. As a side note, it doesn't mean you need to keep on doing this as a daily conscious practice your whole life long. No, because what happens is once you keep repeating a certain action, eventually it'll become a routine, it'll become a habit, it'll become natural. So that means for the deliberate gratitude, as well as the reverse gap, at some point, you may not even need to sit down anymore. Your mind will start automatically looking for those things you feel good about, those things you feel grateful about, those things you realize you progressed in so much. So that means eventually, by repeating these practices, first consciously, sitting down for it, later on, already subconsciously, naturally, you are rewiring your mind and your brain for positivity. And eventually, your brain, your mind will automatically start looking for those things you feel good about, more than the things you don't feel so good about. You'll automatically start thinking about the things that are going well instead of those things that you still have to do, or the things you didn't, do as well as you would want it, etc. So this is what we call reconditioning or rewiring your mind. So number 2, reverse gap. Looking back, seeing what are the things that I progressed in, the things that I developed in, the things that I grew in, right? The exercise number 3, what I'd like to share with you today, is called lofty questions. Lofty questions. What this means is that, again, related, oftentimes we ask ourselves, oh my God, why does this always happen to me? Oh, why can't I just? Oh, why does this person always? And you notice I'm using words like always, never, all the time, etc., which in essence are very extreme words, right? And they can also be very negative because it doesn't leave any space for the alternative, if you get what I mean. So, lofty questions is deliberately, consciously reversing this practice. When you ask yourself lofty questions, you would ask yourself questions like, wow, how come I'm so great at this? Or, wow, how come I feel happy every day without doing anything for it? You would ask yourself, wow, how come I sleep so great at night? Even if these things are not the case yet in real life, in your daily life, let's say. Because what happens, again, along the same lines, your mind will start looking for the answers to the questions you ask it. And your mind is not racist. Your mind does not differentiate between if it's something negative you're asking or something positive you're asking. What your mind does is simply search for the answer. So if you ask your mind a question like, oh, why does this always happen to me? Your mind will start giving you answers of why this always happens to you. And that means you become more and more focused on it, so more and more chance that it will keep happening to you indeed. And this is what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? However, if you use the lofty questions technique and you start asking yourself questions like, how come I sleep so great at night, every night, even if it's not the case yet, right? Then your mind will start searching for answers that could actually be useful in helping you to sleep better at night. You see the cycle? You see the pattern here? Your mind will start answering, and those answers can provide very valuable insights to you. So that's method number 3, lofty questions. So we talked about deliberate gratitude, sitting down, listing down minimum 5 things you feel grateful for, you feel happy about in your daily life. Number 2, reverse gap, looking back, recollecting those things you progressed in, those things you grew in, compared to last week, last month, last year, doesn't matter. Number 3, lofty questions, asking yourself positive questions to search for answers that could help you get there. All right. I hope these techniques are very useful for you. I hope you took some notes and that you'll start practicing with it and implementing them in your daily life. And again, just to recap, you won't need to sit down and do all these practices on a daily basis lifelong, because eventually your mind, it'll become a habit and your mind will start thinking that way by itself. So that means it would actually take you more effort to look for the negative things, the things that are not going well, the things that you don't feel good about. That will start taking you more effort than seeing the good things in life. So I'm looking forward to you integrating this and seeing the results and reap the benefits of it. All right. So now let's get to the second part of today's session. The second part is a short meditation I'll be guiding you through. In this meditation, we can start integrating some of the, let's say, the mindset shifts, the techniques and methods that we just talked about, as well as focusing on stilling our mind so that we can become more mindful in life, which again supports the integration of the practices we just talked about. During the meditation, I'll make use of 3 different techniques. Number 1, breathing observation. I will guide you through, so no need to remember everything. In breathing observation, we simply observe our breath. No need to try and change anything. Technique number 2 is visualization. We will be visualizing an object. I will provide one to you. And we will try and focus on this object mentally in our mind. Technique number 3 is the mantra, which is a short sentence, a few words that I'll be providing to you as well. And again, we'll be repeating this mantra silently within our mind throughout the meditation. So find yourself in a comfortable position. You can sit down on the floor if you like, but it's also perfectly fine to sit on a chair. When you sit on the floor, just cross your legs however comfortable. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure your buttocks are flat on the chair, your legs are next to each other, so not crossed, and your feet are standing flat on the floor next to each other. In all cases, put your right hand on top of your left hand with your palms facing upwards, and let your hands rest in your lap. Make sure your back is straight, your neck is straight, but first and foremost, important that you feel comfortable. That's the most important. All right, let's get started. Let's meditate together. Slowly and gently close your eyes. Just feel for a moment how your body is feeling. Are you comfortable? Any adjustments you need to make? And now, focus on your breath. Notice how you're breathing in, how you're breathing out. No need to try and change, just observe at your own pace, your own time. Notice your in-breath, your out-breath. And just take a few more deep breaths, gently, softly, at your own pace. And now we'll start by relaxing our bodies from the top of our head until the tips of our toes. And with every out-breath, imagine how you're releasing all the tension, all the stress from that part of your body. So take a deep breath in and imagine how you're releasing all tension from your head, your face, while breathing out. Take another deep breath in and out. Release all tension from your shoulders, your neck, your arms, your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release everything from your chest, your back, your abdomen. breathe it out, release. Take another deep breath in and breathe out, release your hips, your buttocks, your upper legs. Take another breath in and breathe out, release your knees, lower legs, feet, and your toes. Breathe it out into the space around you. Take another few breaths at your own pace, in your own time. And breathe deeply, gently, and softly. And now, take another deep breath in and feel how your belly, your abdomen expands. Feel the air floating into your body. Your abdomen expands, becomes bigger, and breathe out. Another time, breathe in, feel your abdomen expand, grow bigger, and breathe out. And with your next breath in, notice the breath going into your body until around your navel, the center of your body. Feel how it expands. And now let's try and maintain our awareness at this spot. Our belly, abdomen, the center of our body. Take another few deep breaths while maintaining your awareness at the center of your body. You may start feeling very light, as if there's no bones, no muscles in your body. As if your body is weightless, spacious, motionless. Keep breathing deep, soft, and gentle, while maintaining your awareness at the center of your body. And if you notice any distracting thoughts, you may use visualization technique. And imagine how there's a bright, warm, comfortable sun in front of your face. This sun is shining so bright, so warm. Now imagine you're swallowing this sun into your body, all the way down to your abdomen. Take a deep breath in and feel your abdomen expand, the sun inside, and how it's radiating, so bright, so light, warm, and soft. Now let's maintain our awareness at the sun in our abdomen, center of our body. sun is shining bright and warm and light and very comfortable, at peace and still. And softly maintain your awareness at the sun in the center. And if you notice any distracting sounds, you may use the mantra. Softly and silently repeat the mantra in the center of your body. Clear and bright. Clear and bright. Clear and bright. Clear and bright. Keep repeating the mantra in the center of your body by maintaining your awareness softly and gently. Clear and bright. Clear and bright. Clear and bright. Take a few more breaths while maintaining your awareness with the mantra in the center. And now, take a deep breath in, float back to the surface, and breathe out. Take another deep breath in, and breathe out. And notice how you're sitting on the chair, your hands touching your lap, your feet touching the ground. Take another deep breath in. And notice any sounds around you, the air brushing your skin. Take another deep breath in. Gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And one last time, bring your awareness to the center of your body while slowly and gently opening your eyes. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the meditation and the session about the different techniques to focus on positivity in life. I hope you'll be using these techniques, and perhaps you can use the meditation again as well, or the meditation techniques, and integrate them in your own practices. For more information, for more upcoming events, you can follow the pages World Peace Initiative and Samavira. Looking forward to seeing you again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.